our third chapter for today. Friends and Other Lovers. The chapter starts with the OTC. Now, I'm not entirely sure what OTC stands for, but Josh, do you know? Because it's kind of down your ballpark what this might mean.
What, the OTC?
Yeah,
Um,
where they
I
practice with
believe
firearms.
I believe the OTC is the OTC is the Officers Training Corps.
R-
So
yes,
it's like
very good.
the training of officers for the military.
Right. Did you have any experience of that yourself? Have you ever held a firearm?
Multiple.
Ah, right. Josh the badass.
Yes,
Um,
very much so.
Tim is not at the OTC. All of the rest of the Holton College boys are at the OTC on this Saturday. Tim is absent, notably. Tim has run back to the tree where he found the pod. And Tim's burns on his neck from where he was hung have healed miraculously. Um, Tim has two hearts, part of Time Lord biology from the pod's biodata, and maybe some of Death's intervention, I'm not entirely sure. Um, Rocastle wonders where John is, because of course John is snogging with Joan at this time. So
Mm.
so he's meant to be at the OTC, but he's kind of bogged it off. Of course, Joan reveals to John. My goodness, this might get a bit confusing calling them Joan and John. Joan reveals to John that in the past, Rocastle asked Joan to marry him. So there's a bit of a past there between the two. Tim arrives at John and Joan's picnic, and this will be kind of a recurring theme where Tim's just all over the place. Tim will be in one place, and then next scene he'll be arriving at another place. But, oh well, it's a bit weird. Tim arrives at John and Joan's picnic and sees them making out, I think. Um, Tim is concerned about being a soldier. Um, and the doctor, I mean, John, sorry, says some comforting words, but really, those aren't his lines. He says himself, those aren't my lines. And it's kind of implied that those are the doctor's words. We go back to Benny and Alexander, and they've been taken to the Orbitides base. Um, and Benny offers to help the Orbitides find the pod. It's unknown whether this is whether this was sincere or whether she had something in her back pocket, figuratively speaking. It's revealed that Constance has been dead ever since after the tea shop. She appeared at the tea shop and talked to Benny. It's revealed that, in quite an odd, it's kind of odd that it talks about this, isn't it? Green Eye, one of the Orbitides. I've just written down here, Green Eye is a sexual deviant.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, Green Eye is quite fond of other species and quite fond of taking part in their mating rituals, it would seem. I don't know why that's really. It's not really something that comes into play, is it? I don't think so.
No, not really.
But yeah, it's a bit weird. It's just goes into it. So the Orbitides, it's revealed a bit more about their biology in this episode, and it's revealed that they can. So each Orbitide can asexually reproduce once, basically, and but um that can only happen 6 times down a chain, if that makes sense. So um any family can only have 6 members. The Orbitides are after the secrets of Time Lord regeneration from the Doctor and the Time Lord biodata, and that's why they're trying to get that, so that each child can have 12 regenerations, and each one of those regenerations can pod 6 times, and each one of the pods can regenerate. So basically, they can have an infinite army of asexually reproducing Time Lords. Um, Children on Gallifrey are very rare, is a line that comes out of one of the Orbitides at this point, and that is a reference to the fact that Gallifreyans can't have children, and that Gallifreyans are created via loom. The Orbitides fear who they call interventionists from Gallifrey, and it is kind of implied that these are members of the CIA, the Celestial Intervention Agency from Gallifrey.
Definitely
Chris
no
liked that.
copyright infringement there.
No. Well, I have the feeling the CIA can't hold a trademark on the term. But yeah, the Celestial Intervention Agency as opposed to the Central Intelligence Agency. Benny and Alexander will be played with by Green Eye before they're killed. It's implied that this is in a sexual way. Which is a lovely bit of rape in my Doctor Who book. Which I didn't want, really, but oh well. Then we cut back to John and Joan, and John asks Joan to marry him.
Aww.
Gives her a ring as well. And
Where'd that come from?
So then there's a bit, and there's a bit here that Josh, do you have your ebook handy, rather?
Yes, I can get it handy. I've set open a separate app. It's fine.
So there's a bit here where in the book version it says A-N band, and so John says something that sounds like lyrics to Joan, and Joan says it may come from a N-band. And my theory is that in the book, like in the universe of Doctor Who, she said a racial slur that starts with N in that bit, and they couldn't publish that. But my theory is Joan said that. In the audiobook version that I went to check, Lisa Bowerman, who reads the audiobook, simply said a harmony group, which in this time probably would have meant a group of black men, black women as well, I suppose, singing. I think now this might have just been an error with my version. Pardon?
I was going to say, if you give me the sort of sentence, I can search for it.
I can't. I haven't written down like a proper sentence here. Just look up the word band.
Band. Nothing in that chapter.
Right. Well, it would be towards the end. It would have been said by Joan.
No, most of the band is just bandaged.
In Friends and Other Lovers, you're looking at specifically.
Yeah, there's nothing in Friends and Other Lovers with the word band in.
What about harmony group? Or lyrics or song?
Friends and Other Lovers. That's the title, but I don't know who sings it. Some harmony group, probably.
Some harmony group. Right. So they changed it in the audiobook and the ebook version. I think it's a thing of edition. The audiobook and ebook are both of the 2015 BBC Books edition, and I was reading from the 1995 Virgin edition. So I think that was a racial slur that she said. Actually, I mean, it's befitting of the time, but Jesus, like, wow.
Yeah, but you gotta get some perspective. I mean, it was general, like, sentence fodder at the time.
John goes to the time barrier. I haven't got any context for why John's gone to the time barrier, but John's gone to the time barrier and sees a vision of a cat's brain, a cat's exposed brain being operated upon, which is implied to be from the Doctor's memory. I think the Doctor's lost a cat recently. That's kind of implied by a sentence in a later chapter. And he wonders if Joan remembers him having an umbrella when he first met her. And that's where the chapter ends. Most of these chapters end with a bit of with just a bit of a cliffhanger on a bit of the Doctor coming back. Yeah. Chris, what did you've been quite quiet. What do you think of the episode?
Yeah, I'm a bit more of that one. Wasn't. Yeah, it was quite hard. The wedding thing was quite hard to read. So
Oh,
obviously, it's not. It can't end well.
yes, but it is very lovely nonetheless.
Yeah.
It is a lovely gesture, I suppose.
Mm. Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
I
Stick with the.
it's a bit weird to me that you skipped over all of the stuff that you'd probably find objectionable, um,
Oh wait. Yeah.
including Green Eye being a sexual deviant. But
I'm just trying not to think about that.
fair enough. There are certainly some things that you will find in these 90s episodes of Doctor Who that you probably wouldn't find anywhere else. It's a bit weird, but
Mm.
Doctor Who went down a weird hole around this time. Josh, what did you think of the episode?
It was a solid chapter once again.
Right?
Um, uh, it's just more plot-driven stuff, kind of moving the
Mm.
plot on.
Yep.
Didn't really learn much about the characters, other than that, Green Eye's a sexual deviant.
Yeah, that was lovely. And that Joan's a
So
racist.
yeah, well, to be fair, everyone was racist back then.
But not John.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
But not the Doctor.
Okay. Anyway, I'll just give it a solid 6 out of 10.
Right. Not too much happens in this chapter really. Except more of the Doctor coming through to John. Yeah, and for that really alone, I'm gonna give it a 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next chapter is the last of human nature that we're doing in this kind of block.